welcome Natashia.
Hello everyone, I'm Natashia. And today I'm going to talk about how to stop being decision procrastinator, start to lead a happier life. It was 2 a.m. I've been lying in bed for 2 hours, thinking about piles of unfinished tasks and activities I had yet to complete. I have been in this situation for about 2 months, and the list of unfinished tasks and activities only seemed to grow larger when the midterm week approached. Every day, I try to make more time for solving math problems and reviewing pages upon pages of chemistry handouts after school. I would spend my school recess time reviewing and prepping new English words in an attempt to expand my vocabulary. During that time, I often compared myself with Sisyphus. The Greek legend was cursed by Zeus to repeatedly roll a massive boulder uphill over and over again. The unfinished task was the massive boulder, and the gravity was the midterm week, fighting against me when I tried to climb the hill. As time progressed, despite my anxiety, I continued to achieve excellent academic scores. However, my body began to fail me. Most of the days, I would suffer from serious headaches. My periods began to appear late, and I even missed it for an entire month. I was suddenly realized, although I get good grades, my perfectionism was slowly eating away at my health. After I became a university student, I continued to imitate my high school life work schedule. I took up to 25 credits lessons every semester, and while at the same time, I participated in 3 business competitions in 1 year. Unfortunately, this has sadly become the norm for me. I stayed up late to ensure that everything was well organized every day. I try to squeeze in as much task as possible in my schedule to ensure that I am the very competitive candidate for any job position I desire. I've sacrificed many vacation time to stay with my family, only to make more time for meetings. I've canceled lots of lunch plans with my best friends just to sit at home and absorb another page of textbook. We've seen and read many rich and successful people on the news who've lost their families due to neglecting relationships. This doesn't only happen to successful people. According to a study posted by the University of Chicago, it hurts both parents and children when the family don't regularly spend time together. Although I went home every week to stay with my family, I felt that there was a boundary between us. It was a massive wall that I didn't know how to climb. We were so close and so far apart at the same time. I had yet
to realize any form of massive success from my proactive attitude. I was still undecided on my career path. I had nothing but anxiety and worries about the future. I suddenly realized this was not the life I wanted to live. Just as I previously mentioned, the study posted by the University of Chicago, it hurts both parents and children when the family don't regularly spend time together. When parents come home with stress, when parents come home with stressed and overwhelmed, children might feel responsible, and the parents' negative emotions creates a trickle-down effect. It is obvious that when we are overworked, we will frequently be in a bad mood and constantly feel overwhelmed. This may cause us to be curt, snappish, or angry at our important people over insignificant or minor offenses, which will damaging your relationship and making you less happy. However, it's incredibly difficult for us to decline golden opportunities which may offer us a successful life, because we tend to make decisions with reasonable consideration, but not follow our true feelings. But not follow our true feelings. We tend with our head obsessed with getting ahead, we just simply ignore, and we continue not to be aware of or simply ignore signals from or simply ignore our true feelings, warnings from our bodies, and signals from our important people. It has sadly become the norm for everyone in today's fast-paced world. But it is not entirely our fault. Because in this rat race, no one wants to be the loser. We feel another event in our schedule just to ensure that we will not be the loser in the job hunting competition in which us soon-to-be graduates will compete. We constantly put ourselves in unpleasant situations in hopes that it might bring us some benefit in the future. We hope that we can get all that we want, and all the hard work we put into accomplishing our goals will someday bring us a bright future. But are we conditioned to think like this? From a young age, we are constantly asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? We encourage to think the future as a time that things are going to start happening for us. It becomes something we work toward, and we start to thinking life as a pursuit. I'll go to a famous college, I'll get a nice job, I'll get married, and I'll get a better house. Pursue, and pursue. If we think that life as a rainbow, if we are able to get to the other side, we will be awarded with a pot of gold. But this kind of behavior only causes a long to-do list that never ends. I've decided to call this behavior procrastination. In Cambridge Dictionary, the definition of the word procrastinate is to keep delaying something must be done often because it is unpleasant or boring. We hate procrastination, yet we always procrastinate making decisions. We try to fill our schedule with as much tasks as possible, only to ensure that we have a brighter future with those various kinds of skills. But this will end up making us fall into a vicious cycle that constantly stressing about the future. So how to prevent us from procrastinating when making decisions? I found that many books teaching people how to make decisions are somewhat too difficult or too reasonable. So I'm here to introduce you a simple tip to make decisions with your true emotions. Society respects people that can make decisions by analyzing gain and loss rationally. However, I implore you not to view emotional as a negative word opposed to rational. Our emotion is a system that can protect us from danger, both help us avoid unpleasant situations and protect us both mentally and physically. So next time when you try to add another task in your schedule, follow your true feelings. Try to imagine it in your head. If you can draw a clear picture in your head within 10 seconds, do it. If not, refuse it. This will help you avoid many trivial tasks and help you live a life closer to what you want to be. We are still all university students. We still have a long life ahead of us with many unknowns to explore. We don't have loans to pay, mouths to feed, or any other obstacles along the road to make changes more difficult. Then you should focus on your own health. You should focus on your own health, people that you care about most, and anything that you think is important now. There's no benefit for myopically focusing on the future and work just for vanity. So because hard work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So next time when you feel overwhelmed, follow your true feeling and make better decisions. It's not a sin but a rescue. Thank you.
Good. Can we start with any questions or comments?
You said if you can imagine one thing in 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
10 seconds. So you will decide to do that. So where did the 10 seconds come? Why do you choose 10 seconds as the standard?
I think it's not very too long or too short. It's just a time that you can clearly picture the moment you achieve something, but it will not be too quick for you to. It will not be too short to obstacle you to form a clear picture. So I think maybe but you can. But I think if you think it is too is not proper to decide a big decision within 10 seconds, maybe you can extend it about 5 seconds or 10 seconds. But I think it's bad. It had better not to over 20 seconds because I think that if we don't like if we don't like to do something, our emotion will tell us what's the better direction. So yeah, it's not to be too rationally thinking about the future.
Good. So any others? Yeah.
Have you become happier when you start overthinking about your decisions?
Yeah. I've been much more happier than before because in the past I tend to focusing on the future, and if I and I finally found that I don't like participating in business competition because it is very time consuming, and sometimes the consequences is not that it doesn't make me confident. So and also the topics are not what the field I interested in. So I stopped participating in business competitions and other kinds of competition like this. But it's my own decision, so it's just an example. You can change the ways you think about according to your situation.
Good. So any others? Feel free to speak or ask. If you haven't spoken yet, Alex.
You're facing like a contradiction, and you think that the result is the thing that you really expect and you want it, but the process is really monotonous. How do you deal with this? It's boring and unpleasant.
But if you think that it is the right way to go, you should follow that direction. So in my speech, I'm just talking about the decision making, but not the process of how you can overcome with the how you can overcome with the boring when finishing your goal. But if in your situation, I think it's better to reach the goal step by step. You can set little goals, but not too precious. You don't have to be a step forward in one day. You can make progress day by day.
Good. So any others?
Do you find what you really want to do in future, in the near future, like 2 years later, and after we graduate? Have you ever thought about that?
I think I will follow the path of data science because when I was in my sophomore year, I took many credits of lessons, but most of them are for accounting. But I finally found out that I was affected by other people because many people say that the accounting has a really stable work, so I just follow other people's opinion, and I choose to follow the direction of accounting. But finally, I found that I'm more interested in math and programming, so I changed my schedule and focusing more on the programming class.
I have a question. I think when it comes to decision making, especially for young people like you, sometimes you may also have to deal with maybe pressure from the family, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever experienced the conflict between maybe your parents' expectations and your new expectations for yourself?
Yeah, I've already faced this kind of situation, and it was happened when I'm going to enter university, and in that then I was choosing which department to go to apply for then, and I want to study biology, but my parents think that the Department of Commerce is better, so I just follow their instruction and choose to go to International Business Department. I was really regretted then, but soon I found that if you don't have so I found that it's a good decision, because later then when I'm choosing the department where to go, I'm not that confirmed about what I really want to do. So if you're not still sure about which path to go, you can just follow other people's instructions and try to try to live your way in that direction. Yes. But but what I'm talking about is about is about how to throw those trivial tasks and stop to cheat yourself on what you don't want to do.
Okay, good. So, any others? Right, so then thank you very much.